quick Sunday morning update. I got a couple hours today, so I thought I'd get out here and work in the shop. I apologize. First off, I want to apologize. I have not been filming much, and my excuse is I have been so busy at work that I have not had a whole lot of time. And what little time I do, I'm out here just grinding. So, second part of that is the haters. Man, they're getting to me. I don't know what it is. I know they're mad and they're just projecting their anger and their anxiety and their problems on me. But it's been unbearable lately. The constant barrage of negative comments, messages on both Instagram and Facebook and email. I'm like, man, do you people not have anything better to do with your lives? But it's just been brutal lately. So it's just really been, I'm like, man, I don't want to film. This is stupid. Like, I mean, all I'm getting is just nonstop negativity. Then this morning, I actually was sitting around talking to my wife about it. She said, think of it this way. There's 3,100 people that have taken the time to subscribe. They're obviously interested in what you do. Do it for them. So I'm going to try to get it in gear and do it for you guys. Those loyal subscribers who are there, who've took the time to hit that little button, which does help, by the way, who interact with positive comments, positive emails, positive questions, all that stuff. Great. Makes you really feel like you're doing something. It's a lot of work to film all these things. I enjoy it. My kids, they wanted me to do it, so I did it. But it got too much. And I was like, man, I am so sick of this. I kind of took a little of a break, and then I came back earlier this year, and it's at it again. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So I'm going to try to push past it for you 3,100 people who subscribed. This is for you guys. So today, like I say, I'm working on this thing like a half an hour at a time, an hour at a time here. I actually got a couple hours today, so I am going to get going on it. Like in my last short, this is all buttoned up here. I just need to hook all the lines up. The wiring's done up here, minus some grounds for the fans, which I'm going to terminate once I get the battery back in. But I was going to try to get all this taken care of. So today, my course of action is, I'm full disclosure, I already did it just because I had my head down and I was still steaming about all these. I actually just got one while I was at the gas station getting a drink. And I was like, God, Lord, it's always somebody, well, I would do this, I would do that. And I'm like, oh, just give it a rest. That's great. You build you, I'll build me. But anyway, the AC pressure switch. So originally, I was going to run that. I took the seat out by myself. Always a good time. I use one of these Harbor Freight dollies. Excuse my mess. It looks like a bomb went off in here. 2 buckets for both brackets, and then one of those things, and I can just slide it right out. My original plan was, the way my PSI, this is inside the truck with nothing in here. For those new subscribers who haven't seen, my ECM's here. I made a bracket to mount my fuse panel vertical so I can see it from the front side. It's actually even, I don't know if it's going to show up, labeled. And yes, it is missing one relay because the fuel pump relay is no longer in there. It's in the front. TAC module, OBD2 module, cruise control hooks up all over there. I have modified this a little bit. That's why it doesn't look like stock. I took all the loom off of it from the bulkhead forward. So I've got a high hump in here. It comes to that. There's a little slant on the back of that. So it comes through right there. So my plan was the harness comes down the spine of the transmission, pops through right here. Actually goes this way and this way. I was going to run it down that same spine and go through there, but they've got so much dang tape on that thing, on that bulkhead fitting there, that rubber grommet. I didn't want to take it apart because I didn't want it, they did such a great job of taping it up. I didn't want to take it apart. So I started to think of other options. So the AC right there has all of its wires coming through the firewall there and the grommet. So I was like, it's already coming through there. I'll just run it through there. So, and I'm saying so a lot, and now I'm listening to myself. I ran the wire there. It comes down through the carpet, pokes out right here, and I've already hooked it up. The way this works here, and for those who don't know, lt1swap.com, he has everything you want to know about these things. I got this wiring diagram from him, and the idea actually from a buddy of mine down in Springfield for this pressure sensor. But the AC pressure sensor is what I'm actually wiring. I don't know if I've said that. I'm thinking faster than I'm talking. So this is the wire here. There's 3 wires in here. This comes from out in the engine bay. It is a pressure sensor. It goes on the AC high side. What it does is it just reads the pressure. Simple as that. It tells the computer what the pressure is in the high side so that the computer will turn the fans on according to that pressure. Now, with the vintage air, and I'm drawing a blank right now on what their pressure is. Let's just say it's 250 psi because I can't remember what it was. At 250 psi, their trinary switch would turn on the fans. So I can set the computer at 250 psi. Once it sees 250 psi with this sensor, it'll say, hey, turn on the fans. So it'll turn on fan 1. And in my case, which is both fans at half speed. It also has the ability to have a second set point. So say, and I need to talk to Vintage Air and see what they recommend, but say at like 265 psi, the pressure's still rising in the high side of the line because it's 110 degrees and I got the air conditioner just ripping and I'm sitting in traffic. There's no airflow. So at 265 degrees, I can tell the computer, hey, turn on fan 2, which in my case will turn on both fans at high speed. And then beyond that, it's kind of up to the Vintage Air to control itself. So I have a trinary switch, which has a high side cutoff. So if the pressure if my fans, which I don't know how they couldn't because they're massive, if they cannot bring the pressure down in the AC system, it will shut the system off and go into protection mode to protect itself. So this will run the fans, but it does not actually talk to the Vintage Air compressor. So we're kind of grafting the two systems together because as you can see, this is from a 2003 SUV. This is the wiring diagram. They use a HVAC control module. They have a low side pressure switch, and then an AC compressor, and then this is fuse box. So they use kind of all this thing with, they all talk to each other. It's got a data link that talks between this module, which is the PCM, and the HVAC module. We're not doing any of that. All we're doing is just this one circuit right here to tell the computer that, hey, A, there's pressure in the system, so it knows that the air conditioner's on, so it can bump the idle and adjust. And B, it's going to run the fans. The clutch and everything else in this circuit is going to be controlled by the trinary switch. It's a good old analog way. It's tried and true. It works. But I'm simply taking the fans out of the trinary, and hopefully this actually works, and having the computer control the fans based on this pressure reading that it's reading from the thing. So pretty trick. For 3 wires, so you've got 3 wires. You got a gray wire, a black wire, and a red black. And that's these 3, and I've already wired them up. The gray wire goes to C1, which is blue, which is the bottom one here because my computer's upside down. Goes to C145. That is I'm drawing a blank on what that actually is. Let's see here. The gray is a 5-volt reference. And then you've got your black, which is going to go to C2 because right there's that little dashed line. This tripped me up earlier because I don't know, for some reason I thought this was on C80, but C80 or C180 has already got a low reference, so I had to look it up. LT1swap.com. He's got it all. Feel like I'm advertising for him. Which, let's see, where we're at. Black wire is the low reference, and then the last wire is this red and black, and it's going to go to C2, which is the green here, because we're a gas. C2 pin 14, which is the AC pressure signal. So that's the signal that's actually looking for to tell the computer what its pressure is. So pretty neat. So I've got them wired in to my PSI conversions harness here. I'm going to tidy them back up, put them back in here, tidy them up, and kind of zip tie them and make them look like they belong here. Kind of same thing I did over here is I added cruise control. That's what these wires are right here. So that actually goes up to the cruise control stock, and then it goes into this connector on the tech module. So I'm kind of just going to do a similar thing, kind of wrap it up as best I can. I guessed when I wrapped this thing, and I'm thinking once it's together, I'm going to have to wrap it a little more. But that's pretty much it. So, again, sorry for not filming that. I just, it was one of those things. I was going to film it, but then I got tripped up, honestly, on this pin 80 right here, because I, for some reason, thought it was on C1, and there's already something there, so I had to use my phone because I film with my phone. I had to use the phone to figure out, what am I doing wrong here? There's already a pin there. Do I need to splice into it? Because that's this wire here. This is pin 80, and it already has a black going to it. I'm like, oh, man, what's happening here? So, yeah, that's it. going to button this up. I got a vacuum in here. My God, this thing is filthy because that thing is actually original. Look at the burlap on the back of that thing. I've had the seat out I don't know how many times, and I finally did find the tag on it. I honestly have never looked, but the tag is there. And this seat is actually built in August of '69, so evidently not original to the truck. It's not a folding one, you know, where they fold forward or whatever. I don't remember when they switched that, but yeah, nonetheless, it bolts in, it works. So I'm gonna have it redone. There's a local shop here, Griffin Brothers. They're in Kansas City, Missouri, but I'm pretty sure they just moved into a new shop in Lenexa, which is like, I don't know, not too far from here. So I'd like to have this done. Everybody loves the white and houndstooth. And I don't know. I mean, I don't like the white seat, but everybody loves it when you go see it. And it's so different. I'd love to do a black with this same houndstooth pattern. But I don't know. It just looks, I mean, it doesn't show up on camera, but yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's kind of, I mean, no matter how much you clean it, it's still not white. I don't know if that's what color this is, if it's kind of like an ivory color or what, but I don't like it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up, do some vacuuming, clean all this out, and kind of get going. I think I might have glossed right over the fact that, well, I might have mentioned it in my, there's a Nova. We were scratching our heads on it. We're gonna put a, let's go ahead and talk about it. It's got a 327 in it, but it's got, you really can't see it, the power steering pump, it's got some funky bracket on it that the AC belt, it will flop around. I mean, like I'm touching the bracket, not the AC, the alternator belt touches that bracket down there, and it'll start squealing pretty good. So we were looking at the CVS racing kit for it, but I'm afraid because it puts the alternator like here. I don't know that we have enough room up here for that, but we're going to see if we can't do some rewiring on this thing. He wants to do some work to this. He wants to put an LS into it eventually, but this thing is so cherry. I mean, it's had a full rotisserie. It's a nice car. So if we do a swap in it, I don't know. So he's thinking maybe he wants to do a 5.3 or something in it, but I don't know. He also wants to do a manual, so I don't know. We'll see. As big as this car is, it's got the tiniest engine bay. It's got these giant, I mean, they make the front end kits for them, but it's got these giant shock towers on it. The power steering pump, or a power steering box is back in the back, and yeah, it really needs a front end on it, with rack and pinion and everything, but I don't know, project for another day. I think he's just going to kind of tinker with it for now, get it running. You know, kind of, it is what it is. It's not a hot rod, but it's quick enough, I guess, suppose, but yeah. So anyway, back to my truck. I have been rambling now. It looks like 13 minutes. So let's go ahead and skip to the good part, and I'm going to clean all that up and get it all vacuumed and then figure out what I'm going to do next. All right, so to wrap up today, I have got the wire cleaned up. This is my wire here coming through for my pressure switch. That's the connector there. So it is actually going to be somewhere in this area here. So I'm thinking this wiring harness, I'm going to have it come out, turn, then follow the heater hoses down. Or maybe not. I really honestly don't know how I'm going to have the wires go, because I'm kind of limited by how long this wire is here. I mean, it's plenty long. I'd love for them to go up and around, but I don't have enough wire on this one. I guess I could extend the wires. I'd rather not, though. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So anyway, this is the wires, power and ground. This is the pressure sensor, and then this is the wire that goes up to the trinary switch that's up here. So I've got to figure out how to wire all those. So maybe I'll hook them to the AC lines. I really don't know what I'm going to do. It's kind of, I wish that hole was over there. I don't know why they put it clear over there, but whatever. We'll make it work. Something else to worry about. So that's good. I did pick up something last week that I've been wanting to do for a while. God, every time I look at that, I wish I wouldn't have cut that. I wish I would have figured out a way to flap it up and leave it up. I had a gas tank in it when I put this carpet in here. It's a new ACC carpet. And I was in a hurry. I don't know what I was doing. I just hacked a square out of it. And at least it's behind the seat. It still pains me that it's like that. But anyway, 3-point belts. I've been wanting these for a long time. I should have bought them. I don't know when. The price is, because everything's expensive right now, but the price is redonkulous on these things right now. I think I paid, so I got both sides and the center matching. I don't have one of the belts down here, but it's the square. It's basically matches what's in it. It has the GM logo on it, push button, square plastic, black belts, 3 points. I bought these from seatbeltplus.com. They are actually made by it's covered up, but Seatbelt Solutions in Jupiter, Florida. They make most of them, so they're made in the U.S. I'm stoked about them. Buddy Shannon has in his truck. His are red. He's got a whole red interior. It's sharp. He loves them, so I bought them. I paid twice as much as he paid for them 3 years ago. We were building our trucks at the same time. Should have bought them back then, but I was, after this LS swap, I was like, I'm done. My wife is going to have me if I keep spending money. So figured right now, let's go ahead and do it. Again, it cost me twice as much. I got too much money. And I think it was like with the belt, the center belt, I think it was $450, something like that. Not cheap. But the motor's got, close to 500 horsepower. So it's probably safe to do this. So, but yeah, I got it all vacuumed up. So now what I've got to do is I'm going to put the seat back in here. I just kind of put that up there for mock-up and to show you guys what I'm working with. I'm so excited to finally have these. Getting rid of the old crusties. They were the original belts of the truck, 72 date stamp on them. I've actually cleaned them. I took them and I built this big rig, and I had the bottoms. I soaked everything, all the belts. I soaked them all and cleaned them, and they're pretty clean. But I wanted 3 points, so here we are. Yeah, that's it for today. I guess let me know in the comments, or shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook or an email. What would you guys like to see more of? I know I kind of get rambling a lot because I don't film a ton, and I explained why. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments and some hate mail and whatever about kind of rambling on this one and not doing much, but it's tough. Doing the whole YouTube thing is tough. It takes an astronomical amount of time. Everything that you're doing that you film takes twice as long, and then you got to spend hours putting the video together and putting it up on YouTube. And it's not about the money, but it's a whole lot of work for not a whole lot of return. I do appreciate all the subscribers, all 3,100 of you, and all of the viewers who are not subscribed. If you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe. I'm doing it for you guys and girls. So let me know what you want to see, what you'd like to see more of, more just kind of nitty gritty, or just shenanigans, or just kind of, my wife even suggested it, doing it, just kind of filming it. And then you can I can fast forward through it or speed it up a little bit and then just kind of do a voiceover over it. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. I can do some more of that stuff. I'm actually getting ready to start I guess it is kind of car related project. Hopefully getting ready to start, depending on what it's going to cost. But we're putting an addition on our house. I'm going to make the garage bigger so that I can put the truck up at the house, just so it's right there. So it's easier, if I've got half an hour after dinner, I can just walk over there real quick and work on it for a little bit. But so that'll be coming up soon. And then I'm really working on, I want to put an LSA on this thing. So we'll see. That might not be this year. I would like to, I'm thinking about getting the exhaust redone. There's a local speed shop here in town, Vasco Speed. They do some amazing work. So I'm thinking about doing that maybe this year, spending some money and getting that fixed. I really want to get the mufflers out from underneath the truck and put them back here. So I'm going to kind of see if I can get with him. I got the dead-end garage cross member pass through so I can run the exhaust through there. But the way these trucks are and the way the frame and the engine and driveline is, there's nowhere to put an X pipe if you run it up inside the frame. So I'm just spitballing in my head, but underneath the truck here, it's kind of hard to visualize. The mufflers sit about here, so it comes out. There's an X right behind the transmission, back out, mufflers up and over, and then they go actually to the bumper back there. So I want to see if we can get, maybe put the X pipe back here right behind the cross member, and then maybe put a couple small mufflers right there, and then some more mufflers back here. I don't know, maybe put some cutouts on it, but I like the idea of having the mufflers in the back because it changes the tone of the whole truck. I know here it makes it kind of sound the part of the vintage of the era it came from, but I like the way the new Vets and Camaros sound. I don't want that raspy sound, but they just have a different sound when the mufflers are in the back. Well, all cars do. It's just the way the resonance works. And I don't know. Well, I'm just kind of spitballing. I was thinking about that actually this morning, kind of figuring out. Maybe I'll talk to him and see. Just see if we can get it up and over the axle back here. There's a lot going on. I went through that in a video a couple of years ago when I got this exhaust put on. Maybe go under the axle, over the axle. I don't know. Or come on the outside of the frame here. I really don't know. But just do something better than what's on there right now. It sounds good, but it looks horrible, and it drives me nuts every time I get on the lift and I look at it. I'm like, oh God, what happened there? So, yep. So I'm going to have somebody help me put the seat back in here. I'm going to thread the new seat belts in. I've actually noticed, and I've forgotten about this. You can't see that, but the weld nut for this mount on both sides, the outer front one, has pulled. It is gone, completely gone. So I'm going to go get some fat fender washers and make that so that's actually secure. I mean, it's got 8 bolts holding the seat down, but just make sure it's secure. And then I've got mounting hardware for the seat belts that come with these huge fat washers. So I'm thinking about double nutting all of these on the back side, just with a big fat low distribution nut. It's got a big weld nut into the cab, but I'm going to go ahead and probably, if there's enough room, double nut all of these, the ones on each side and then the 2 in the middle. So, yeah, that's what I got today. It's nice to actually get out here and work on it. So, and again, I apologize for not having any uploads. I know it's probably people don't want to hear about, me complaining about all the people that leave negative comments, but it is what it is. When you put yourself out there, it kind of comes with the territory, but it still doesn't make it any easier when people do it and say nasty things. So whatever. Be nice, people. Good Lord, it's so easy to be nice. I don't know why people can't just do it. So yeah, that's a wrap for today. I'm going to get out of here. I've got to clean up a little bit because I made a heck of a mess. We're getting there. So it's just slow going. I'm so excited for this. This has been something I've been waiting for a long time. So anyway, I do appreciate everybody watching. Sorry, this is a long rambling one with me, a lot of talking and complaining, which I'm complaining about people complaining. I know, I see the irony in that, but let me know what you think you'd like to see, what kind of style videos. I'd love to do some shenanigans type stuff, but I don't really want to beat on the truck that much. I mean, I enjoyed the occasional burnout and donuts and stuff. So anyway, appreciate everybody watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Show some support. Yeah, that's about it. Please like it, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I do appreciate it. 3,100 strong right now, a little over 3,100. I think we're getting close to 3,200, but let's keep it going. I'm going to try to push through this stuff. I'm going to do videos that you guys want to see. Any actually suggestions too. I mean, things that we could do with the truck. I enjoy doing this stuff. So anyway, happy Sunday. My Jayhawks won last night, so I know what I'm doing tomorrow night. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Catch you next time.